Last week on overtime.
I think the timing of it, I think that's the most key situation right now. I would never co-sign him saying that, nigga. Like I would never co-sign that.
Right.
But
because I seen somebody on Twitter said, the N-word in itself is a PSYOP. It's a psychological operation. So when I seen that, John, I was like, yeah. But is Joe Rogan participating in that PSYOP? Or, all of us are participating in that PSYOP?
If we offended by it, if it ruins our day when we hear somebody say it, we participating in it.
Yeah. No.
It's programmed. I do think the word is a negative word. I do. I think we say it now so we can have some, because we're trying to get out of a hole, a barrel.
You said kinship,
ownership, or something like that.
Shit.
Yeah,
pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if y'all gonna do it now, we're gonna stamp it. You know what I'm saying? It's just
this word right here has so much like trigger, power over people. So like, why even give it that, to somebody else? You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't. Overall, the bigger picture of the whole situation is, it's like he got a large platform. He brought people on his show that pretty much experts who were going against the mainstream, ideas or whatever. So, he had to get punished. It's like, all right, you're going against the grain too much. You have too much large of a platform to be putting this type of information out there. So, I think at this time to use, him saying the N-word, which is like, the biggest cardinal sin, as far as language in America, pretty much for the most part, when it's not said about, pretty much if it's said by white people, And so I think the fact that he did that, now that they're kind of weaponizing racism and weaponizing, the N-word in order to, almost like sick black people onto Joe Rogan, right? You know what I'm saying? And then through sicking black people onto Joe Rogan, then you have the white people with white guilt, or AKA white liberals, who feel like it's their job also to follow suit because they're not going to go against black people when black people are upset.
The misinformation, but how could it be misinformation when everybody gets their information from one news outlet saying, oh, COVID is this, you got to do this, XYZ. But when there's leaders in science, medical fields saying otherwise, now y'all want to silence the shit.
And I think
that
they
don't
were
make
trying
sense
to discredit him. Yeah, they were trying to.
No, with me, it's not even the word itself. That's I don't like the word itself. Doesn't hurt me. It's the fact that that it's like you trying to play me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why would you even say that if you even know I could take that offense?
Right. The intent,
you know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like that's the point. It's not the word. It's more the principle. Is it the person who says it, or is it how you receive it? You know what I'm saying?
Or is it the person that use it freely? Like if I'm saying, it, all right, rap music, you saying nigga all the time. So it's like putting like a shiny red button in front of somebody and it's saying, don't touch this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, though.
Yeah,
a perfect example you was talking about was that Kendrick Lamar show. Remember when they brought the white girl on stage,
right?
And then everybody in the stadium rapping the joint, and then she said,
even though she's not supposed to say it, but it's like, what you expect her to do in that situation?
Everybody in the room saying it. They basically brought her to come on stage and rap along. Then she say the joints. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like you kind of enticed her to do the shit for real.
It's weird that the psychology that we play on this shit is weird. So
is it? So who's more at fault? Is it the person who uses it, or are you the one at fault for giving power to it? Who's more at fault?
I think if you're willing to use it, you can't be that emotional when somebody else
respond to it in the way that they want. Yeah, exactly. That's the truth.
And I didn't always think like this.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Like, what's the difference?
That was Joe Biden?
Between him.
Who was that? Run that back to bro.
That was him?
Yeah, that was Joe Biden.
Damn.
If the word had like a negative connotation to begin with, right? And it came from like an evil, past. And we sit up here, and if you believe, words and phrases are like spells, aren't we participating in that?
Yeah, you be calling each other niggas every day.
Nigga. So
All the time. It's just like how they show slavery movies now. It's 2022 and shit, just to put you back in like those conditions and that mindset, that mind frame. It's like one of those. Like the trigger is that.
It almost like it bring you right back to the whips and chains and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like nigga, and then it's like just it's like your body or the memories. It's like it just brings you right back there. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
All right, but how many people know the history of it though?
I mean, to me, sometimes
that's like part of psyop. I think that's like the bigger psyop.
What? Just
the history of it,
and that's the history of it is why I be like, I don't be tripping, but it's like chill out.
If words have energies, vibrations, and all that shit, and you calling somebody, you know what I'm saying, nigga, all the time, they're like, there's something have to, something comes from that.
Yeah.
Whether we,
all right, I got a theory.
Subscribe to it or not.
What do y'all think?
That's like hearing COVID all the time, right? We heard COVID how many times in the past 2 years? It's like, oh yeah, this is they beating us over the head with the shit. So if you beating somebody in the head over like, because the word means like what, like dumb, ape, all that type, the hard stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if you're saying this shit all the time, whether you mean it to be endearing or not, you still hitting somebody over the head with this shit. And then you making it okay for other motherfuckers to think of you in that light.
I agree.
Yeah, that's
remember like it kind of started from like the people in the mountains and then it kind of like evolved down and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but even like
they just couldn't say nigga. Like I mean Negro, they would say nigga, and then it was like those racist motherfuckers be calling us niggas all the time, and it was really just saying black. You know what I'm saying? They just couldn't pronounce it. You never know.
You could say Negro comes from necro, and necro means dead.
Damn.
I always thought nigga came from
Niger.
Yeah, the Niger River or whatever. So
the country? Or
black, necro, all that. We like to look at like root words and etymology and all that stuff like that. Yeah.
And even before then, it was Niger, which means basically black royalty. It was like the black Hebrews. They said that it was like a sound. It was like nang, some shit. It's crazy as sound, but that's exactly what it means, and that's where it all stemmed from. And them trying to say it like how you were saying.
They was even saying that
Indo-European origins through the word black, which means pale, wan, colorless, or albino. You know what I'm saying? GGER in English, Niger actually meant king to the Igbo people. Antithetical to that, Nigeria meant queen. Similar theoretical origins of NIGGR are that's what you saying, boy. Was Kundalini, serpent of Nubia, Tamar, ancient Egypt, and Hinduism, Buddhism, Negus.
Niggas. These are my niggas. But real is real, and I don't even like to waste my time even to try to explain that to some people because they get so offended as if you're attacking their morals, and I'm like, no, but it's just like it is what it is. They know what can be if we were that strong to do that and run for 700 years. 700 years. Okay, if you do the math from 1400 to now, how many years is that?
1400.
I was a mathematician. Don't ask me.
1400 now. A lot of because we always say conspiracies are connected, but it feels like a lot. While research always circle back to human origin and birthrights and all that type stuff. If you follow me, you follow me. Naturalization and all that stuff.
Item was like, if you ain't black if you don't vote for me. I was like, this nigga, wow, that's the most racist I was like the most racist shit I've ever fucking heard. This nigga said you ain't black if you don't.
Shit is Reverend Al Sharpton. This is some shit, and I shouldn't be telling you this. But Reverend Al Sharpton made a whole campaign against the word nigga. I swear to my mother drops dead. The first time I ever met Reverend Al Sharpton was with Don King, and Don King said, Reverend Al, do you know Fat Joe? He said, how am I gonna not know the realest nigga in New York? The first thing he told me ever in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
Oh no, that even that. Like, look right there.
Yeah. This is a brown person.
And to me,
All
if
the
you
way
ask
brown.
me, like if you look at what they would call Hispanic, I mean not or Hispanic, they look more native, and then it looked like mixed babies. That's how it started off, and the more
Even
you,
worse, like even in that part of the country where the name originated is like the Midwest, they found artifacts where these people are speaking Hebrew. Like, how does that happen?
and tell me, oh yeah, no, my great grandmother, she is native, and you see it and you know what she looked like. But then when they tell you and you go to school and they tell you this, you like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's like that's why we live in two different Americas, bro. We live in two different worlds, because it's like you can go and you can hear everything and not see nothing, but you have to accept that. Then to go home and what's embedded into your morals, bro. Your morals, bro. Your DNA, bro.
Civilitor mortis, meaning dead in the eyes of the law, categorizing you as black, somebody that don't have, necro, a dead person. They categorizing you as nigga, somebody that's not human. That's pretty much in the court of law they saying you don't have no rights in this country. That's why there's so many people that's incarcerated right now that don't have no rights. You know what I'm saying? Why
Is it a dress code decision?
why are we the most populated person in prisons, but we are still a minority? You know what I'm saying? That shit don't add up, because it's in the law books right now that you're not
rights.
Yeah, you have no rights. Legally,
That's what I'm saying.
you have no rights.
Wasn't that the Dred Scott decision? I think it was, if I'm not mistaken.
And the fact that we call ourselves black is we're actually co-signing a social construct. Like, it's not something where we're not.
You're dead in the rights of the law.
And exactly, and through doing that now, we actually take ourselves out. We take our rights away. So it's like we're actually identifying with something that makes us less human. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because it's not even because it's not real. It's not a real thing. It's not attached to any land. Like, people like, I'm from Colombia, I'm from Switzerland, I'm from Japan, I'm from fucking whatever. Like, black ain't attached to no land at all, bro.
Exactly.
No.
I think even that, and I think the reason why they call white people and not black is, it's like kind of attaching us to the hip of them. It's like almost like we always gonna see our existence in alignment with them. So if we call ourselves black, and that means we don't attach no land, we can only seek that through who? The whites, the opposite. See what I'm saying? So it's almost like you trying to.
We're actually the fifth race, not by skin, but more so DNA and how built. And if you look at some of the past, and you
look at our DNA synthesis, they said like there's like if you look at the DNA, there's like a fucking bridge and that shit. It's like a sequence where it looked like somebody like literally like had a science experiment of our shit and tried to connect it to the fucking dot. But I was obsessed with that shit at one point, like the whole like human origin. Like, why are people so different, but like we the same? And then like, especially off of my last mushroom trip, I was like, all these like animals that be on the earth, it's like they was here, and then like we take so long to like develop, and their first like couple months on the earth, they hit the ground running.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I
hit the ground
exactly
running.
was about to go there. Yep.
But us, it takes time.
Yeah,
even though learn like simple shit, it takes time.
Even in even like water animals and shit, they be, you know, I mean, obviously, but I'm just saying their instinct to their environment is like natural. You know what I'm saying? Animal in the
Like
wild might get eaten by a predator. Maybe I need to develop, you know what I'm saying, within the day. Maybe I need it. But humans, like where we almost like, do we come from a more or less stressful environment? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why we don't move in the instinctual way that animals do, you know, almost.
Black folks, what is
I'll
it?
check
It's
it
basically like the story of Black folks' cuisine in the Americas.
Oh,
To
okay.
you know,
I
I
probably
mean,
know a
slavery
little
that's,
something
that's a
about
good way
that.
of culture. Like,
Yeah.
food.
Food.
Like
Yep.
anytime I go to a city, I try to eat. I Google like what's their like known
Local
food.
cuisine. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I want to get that. I want to go to the strip club and I want to go to the museum and I get like all
Yeah.
facets of that city.
Hey, that's all you
The
need
strip
too.
club.
A lot of people think it's supposed to be like this big old collective, like, you know, something's just gonna happen and we all gonna get on the same page. I don't even think it's meant for that. I think it's meant for, you know, everybody as an individual to start to actually see that this shit is a matrix and work on yourself to be a better person, to just, you know, just put good positive energy out into the universe. You know, take care of your families, be the best you can be, and you know, and that's the best you can do for the world, man. Because you know,